ball. And on the call, as always, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Mass. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the San Francisco 49ers and the New England Patriots. Welcome in, everyone. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. So you've got 1 week of preseason games in the books. Now you start to really assess some of the vets and, of course, some of the young players.
You're exactly right, because now there's a week's worth of film out there for everyone to watch. And for guys who may or may not make these particular teams, that film will be out there around the league, so maybe they can catch on somewhere else if they have to. But this would be a lot of fun to see how much time the veterans play versus how much time the young guys get.
The veteran kicker, Robbie Gould, set to get us started. And we are underway in the final game of a busy Sunday. Here comes Montgomery now to return it. So here come the Patriots now to take over on offense. Orchestrating the offense, the former three-time captain of Michigan State, quarterback Kirk Cousins.
After the career that he's had in the NFL thus far, you get the sense that he was underrated coming out of college. Not just great intangibles, but the ability to make plays come alive, whether he's exiting the pocket or throwing from within the confines of it.
Now the Georgia Southern man, this is Jerick McKinnon. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. Shaq Thompson on the tackle that time. As the offensive starters pop up on your screen, Charles, let me ask you, Chris Hogan, what does he bring to this offense?
A guy that you look at and really don't circle in your game plan. There's other guys that you look at, then you realize this guy can do damage. Finds his way open on almost every snap.
Cousins now on second down. And he's got it. Got his man on the in route. Complete. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. And he went in route there from the slot for the completion.
Love how he runs his routes because it's all setting up your defender. Give him a little something one way, take it the other way. Head and shoulder fake. Sometimes you make one step to the outside, then break it inside. Really well-run route.
Wide open, Gronkowski. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Give him 15 yards on that one, and New England has a first down.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a game in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that'll open things up for you on the outside as well.
That's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam. And it's intercepted at the goal line. A great read, and it's picked off. And he will bring it out past the 20-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here first and 10. Here's the first carry for Le'Veon Bell. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know, you know better than I, he has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
They get 14 back, but it leads now to a third down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
21.
They'll try and run for it with Bell. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up fourth down. Strong start by this defense. Third and short, they go with a run. Stonewalled for no gain.
I played for a guy who always talked about setting tones and meeting force with force. That felt like it on that play, didn't it? And they met it in a big way and won. What a great job by the defense.
So in their own territory, but they only need a few inches, so they're going to opt to go for this thing. We'll see. Maybe a surprise pass or run. What will they do? We're about to find out. Fourth down. They'll go for it with Bell. Le'Veon Bell. It's a foot race. Touchdown, 49ers. Le'Veon Bell, 67 yards. And the Niners have taken the early lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Gold with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Gold now out to kick it away. Here comes Montgomery now to return it. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. And the Patriots gearing up to go now. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious, because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
That's a really alert defense there, because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Second down, Cousins. Got a man complete. It's Chris Hogan. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. His first catch, good for 16 and a first.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
It's a gain of 7, and it'll make it second down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team, because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger game. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
It'll be a pickup of 4, good enough to earn them yet another first down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pickup there at 22. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row.
And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. Solomon Thomas in there to get him for what will be a loss of 13 yards. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
They run it with McKinnon. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 4 yards there, but still in a big hole, 3rd and long. And this defensive line will be looking to control the point of attack.
And that's what they've done throughout this season. This is a terrific unit. They play together very, very well, and they don't permit big plays to happen.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Working out of the gun, Cousins. Looking deep downfield. Looking for Gronkowski, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Jarquiski Tart. And it's a good return here as he'll get all the way up close to the 35. Gronkowski, the intended receiver.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
They'll start out on the ground with Bell. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
21. Go ahead.
On 2nd down, it's Bell. And very little room to maneuver. He'll get this down to about the 39. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. 2nd quarter now. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis with you. It's the 49ers in control of the football, but likely not for long as they're in punt formation to kick it away. The punt team on now as Pinion sends this one away. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. Now, a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. As we thought they might do here in week 2 of the preseason, they've left their starting quarterback out there for this 2nd quarter, but I would imagine we will not see him after halftime.
Yeah, this is the time of year you've got to get your backup some reps and make sure you protect your starting quarterback.
Looking for Gronkowski, and he's got him complete. That one good for 13 at a New England 1st down.
And the key number on that play, 3. 3rd play of the drive, 3rd down, spectacular catch, turns into a 1st down.
1st down saves him from a 3-and-out. Here's McKinnon, and he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's it, baby.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. A 6-yard pickup on the ground that time, and that'll make it 3rd and 4 coming up.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
Cousins now. And this is going to be incomplete.
So now here in the second week of the preseason, you'd expect the starters play a little bit more than they did in week 1, but not a whole lot.
So if you're an offensive coordinator, what are you looking for?
What you're looking for is things getting cleaned up as you go along because most of your playbook's probably installed. How well are they handling it? Easy in and out of the huddle? No mental mistakes? Are they starting to look like a good offensive football team?
The 49er offense now making their way out onto the field. This is their 3rd drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a first down yet in this game. It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a first down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down. And he was very fortunate there to get out of his end zone. He maybe got back to the 2-yard line. Really shouldn't be a surprise. It's going to be hard to move people in this situation. You know they're going to bring the pressure defensively. So I remember playing in these spots, and my coaches always say, don't be afraid to try and create a safety, too. They're going to bring pressure. In his own end zone, it's Garoppolo. Steps away to his left. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down. All right, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. 3rd and long coming up. Back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation. Maybe just run up the middle? Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter because you don't want him backed up where he has to alter what he does. Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on 3rd down. To throw now in his own end zone. Goes underneath for Bell. And he'll take this one up to about the 6-yard line. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that'll bring up 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call? I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Patriots will have great starting position as they take over 1st and 10. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far. Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit, maybe featuring other people touching it for a while, and then you get a chance to come back to him when things have changed a little bit. They have to make an adjustment. There's still time for him here as we sit in the 2nd quarter. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4. Let's talk a little football 101 here because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9. And he's got this one across midfield into 49er territory. They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. It leaves them with 3rd and just a yard. I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys. New England on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. They'll try to run for the first with England. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. Give him a yard on the play, and he's definitely short. It'll be 4th down and a few inches. They tried their best to pick up that 3rd and 1, but their surge wasn't enough to counteract what came back at them from the defensive side, was it? Offensive line, especially in the middle, looked like they were on skates a little bit when that one started. So now we bring up 4th and inches. This will be a critical call. Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10.
21.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Bell. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. Back to Foxborough after this. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. The give is to Bell. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains. Well, earlier this half, you were wondering how they were going to defend him. I think you used the term bottle him up at different levels. They've struggled to do that.
They certainly have, because when you see them approach, in order to bottle him up at different levels, that front line's got to take care of business. Otherwise, he starts to sift through.
And they'll keep it on the ground with Bell. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. A gain of 3, second down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
On second down, here's Garoppolo. He's going to air one out. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. You know, during these preseason games, we're in week 2 right now. It's always funny looking at our spot charts up here in the booth because with all the guys that might play in this one, it seems to get bigger and bigger each year.
Yeah, we pretty much supersize them, don't we? Because, you know, remember, they're carrying 90 now. And with the new rules, they'll carry 90 all the way through the preseason before they make the final cut. Oh, yeah, a lot of guys to learn for these games.
There's Garoppolo to throw. Open man is Godwin. It's complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That goes for a gain of 31.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
20!
Garoppolo now, first down throw. Over the middle, he finds Godwin, complete. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. 49ers with their first trip to the red zone thus far. 1st and 10 at the 19. On the counter, here's Bell. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. Garoppolo to throw on second down. Escaping the pressure right. And he hauls it in the end zone. Touchdown, San Francisco. As his guys are in for 6. And the 49ers add 6 to their lead.
That's one of the better examples of clock management I've seen. Whittled it all the way down just about and still put the ball in the end zone.
Yeah, just a methodical drive and something really to take into the lockers here. Gold to add the extra point. Gold able to tack on the extra point, and it's now 14-0. Gold now out to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Nine seconds to play, likely the final snap of the first half as it's 1st and 10. They'll run with Ingram here to begin the drive. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting 49ers on top. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in just a minute. Week 2 of the preseason is upon us. We've got 2 more after this one, and then we get it all started, as we normally do, on the first Thursday after Labor Day. In our game, still a lot to keep an eye on. Guys battling, trying to make a ball club. We'll send it back to 2 guys already on our team. That's Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Expect to see a good number of backups going forward as we are back and underway here in preseason week 2. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the 49ers offensive unit as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you feel like you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. The tight end Kittle has it on the left side. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he get a good head of steam going.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Well, that's the desired outcome coming out here in the second half, of being able to run the football and establish a little bit of pace and maybe even a bit of dominance at the line of scrimmage. And they want that to continue. Way too early to think about this being ball control time. But the way they're running it, you got to think they may want to continue that and see if they can go ahead and grind their opponents into submission.
And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Now Ali to throw. To throw on 2nd down. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him the football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make him make someone miss in the open field.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 23 yards on the play.
Gotta love the catch. I think you gotta love the gloves as well.
Yeah, these one-handed catches, that was great, and they're fun. They're becoming a little more ho-hum, aren't they?
Yeah, they really are. And I know that it sounds like we're taking credit away from the guys, and we don't mean that at all. They really work hard on this one-handed catch thing, but I think the gloves have to be helping in a big way.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
No. Check. Patriot.
To throw on 2nd down. Ali gets this one left side to Pettis. And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. And they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him, and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
And across the chalk, into the end zone, it's a 49er touchdown. A great effort there. A 13-yard touchdown run. And the 49ers add on to their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical, that's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
On the return, here's White. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Patriots now. They get ready for their first possession of half number 2. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
They'll fake it. Now Rudolph. Over the middle here to Brown. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. He got 29 yards that time. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move.
And this is caught. Touchdown, Patriots. In for the score. And the Patriots make some inroads here on that deficit.
That's almost just not right. You cover everybody, but those tight ends, they can be awfully reliable.
Very reliable. The defense just has to hate those guys.
Just drives them crazy because oftentimes you can't match up with them. They have you either with size, speed, or maybe even just strength.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. The 49ers offense making its way back out there. They were able to extend their lead with an opening drive touchdown here in the third quarter, but that just got matched a moment ago.
So we know that what they discussed at the half worked. Now, what are the counters to that, right? You don't just run the same things over and over. Some do, but many will also show something and then come back with something else to keep the defense off balance.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Ali looking to throw on 2nd down. Flush to his right. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. Dietrich Wise Jr. able to get in there and drop him for a 2-yard loss. Defensive end gets in there that time. They were in a 4-3. What's the responsibility of the ends versus the tackles there, Charles?
Well, most of the time when you talk about the ends, they're your pass rushers. They're the guys that you turn loose to try and get to the guy who's going to throw the football. The tackles, usually more of the run-stuffing variety. But the way this game is advanced, you're wanting a little bit of everything out of all of your guys. But let's just go ahead and break it down and make it simple. The guy who's a right defensive end versus a right-handed quarterback, That's the blind side. He's going after the quarterback. He's going to put him on the ground.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. So they pick up 25 as they convert on third.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
Back now in Foxborough. It's 49er football here. They've got the lead as well as we get set to start the fourth and final quarter. Volley now. Throwing on first down. Over the middle, he finds Pettis complete. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 12 more yards there and another first down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
And here's Ali on first down. Over the middle, that's caught by Taylor. Touchdown, 49ers! As his guys are in for 6. And the 49ers add 6 to their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Patriot offense now set to come back out onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counter.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Anthony Brown. And they will score. It's a 49er touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Patriots offense, they work their way back out onto the field. And fresh off the pick six, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
It all comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out of me for some reason.
It's deep in there, right? Yeah. On second down, here's Rudolph. He goes full extension, and he's got it. Give him 15 yards on that one, and New England has a first down.
Hey, did you have one of those backyards that you had one of those, like, mats or pits like you have for high jumpers? And, you know, you had your friends throw the ball and you tried to make the spectacular catches?
I didn't need a mat.
You just did it with the ground?
Absolutely.
That explains your toughness. That explains your toughness right there. Because I think that guy was raised just like you. What a catch.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give him that underneath stuff, right? And
this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Rudolph looking to throw it. And Ty Montgomery has it complete. The Patriot passing game is rolling. They've got another first down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. So 5 plays on this drive, Charles. All passes, all completions. And just like that, they're in the red zone.
And don't you think the playbook opens up a little bit more now? Because all they've done is throw the football. If you want to run it now, you may very well have them fooled.
Here's Rudolph. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
Let's go.
Rudolph throwing again. And a tip off to White. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. The Patriot passing game is rolling. They've got another first down.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football.
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
And he gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4.
Do you think after that last run they're thinking to themselves, we had to wait all day to play this night game? And we're still not able to run the ball the way we want to.
Yeah, this defense, they've risen to the challenge all evening long. They'll give it to him up the middle. They get 3 yards closer, but still work to do. It's 3rd and goal.
And, Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line. Because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
And looked like some movement there. Let's get the call.
False start, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5.
Still 3rd down.
A bad time for a false start penalty as they're backed up now for 3rd and goal. And they'll go on the ground. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, so no help there. And now 4th and goal.
This offense bent the defense in their long drive downfield, but once they got within sight of the goal line, the defense went to don't break mode and is stiffened.
And Catanzero's kick is right through. And that drops a deficit from 28 to 25. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
The 49ers getting set to trot out there. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
No, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout...
Because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out. And no one wants to go back to those memories. But, you know, when I was calling college football, I saw a game that... You know, a team put 70. I actually saw it happen twice. A team put 70 on their opponent. And in the NFL in the 2017 season, I saw one of those changing of the guard games where a team that hadn't been very good before now was dominating and kicking around a team who had been ruling their division.
And that's when you earn your paycheck, right? As the analyst, you got to fill that time.
You've got to know what's going on out there and how it all happened.
Well, obviously that begs the question, what game was it?
That was Seattle hosting Los Angeles the Rams.
Yeah.
Their second meeting of the season, and the Rams turned it around from their first one and blew out the Seahawks.
Looking to throw. Ali. That's complete to his receiver, Pettis. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. 23 yards on the play.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney!
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll bring up a 2nd and goal.
So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that nice tackle.
And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. 5 yards that time on the completion. And now it's 3rd and goal.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down.
No, check, Patriot! Patriot! Black 99 Philly, here we go!
Now Ali throwing on 4th down. And this will be caught. Well, forget taking the knee. Some late gamesmanship here as they throw for a late touchdown.
I tell you, Charles, you play to the final whistle, I get that, but there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well in hand.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with this one. I struggle. But on the other, the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them.
I'll guarantee you, I know who was really excited. Fantasy owners who had them. Hey, listen, get the points for me. They're not worried about hurt feelings or anything like that. That's just new age stuff.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.